And welcome back after a stellar game yet again from Nativz versus Domino. They've met before, but have they met this Nativz team that is just demolishing everyone? J Real, I'm going to approach you with this one. How hot is Nativz looking right now after that game?
Nah, they've gone Nandros, it's extra hot. We're talking about sun temperatures right here, like unmeasurable by a normal thermometer. You can't withstand that, you know. It's actually insane. Natives, just everything about them is looking clean, man. Like we're talking about fresh fade clean.
Salati, hit me up with the way they played. We've been highlighting. We were talking in between the game, between ourselves, the way Natives were playing. Tell me, what was the most interesting thing you got to see when Natives was playing?
It's I shouldn't be that surprised because I have seen them already and I have seen that this is the biggest thing in their playstyle, but this is
Mhm.
the amount of synergy that never ceases to surprise me. Like everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing as a team. And you can see just this draft is a perfect example of the perfect game for natives. Of it's just the showcase of them as a team because everything synergizes with each other if you as a team as players have this mentality of playing all together as one single unit. And definitely here you could see this exactly happening because come on, that Seraphine Rakan going from the bot lane, going into the team fight, setting up everything for everybody, that cannon jumping in immediately afterwards, the reaction times were just immediate.
It's interesting because you do have the rotations, you have the macro, you have the synergy between the team. Every single shot calling is instantly replied. It's a perfect team, which
Mhm.
makes us look into the next matchup, which is going to be Natives versus Vanir. That right now are not looking that hot as well. They made a complete rework on their roster, and I want to talk with you, Jay Real, about how can they win versus Natives.
Well, I feel
Yeah.
like it's a tough one. It's a tough question because I feel like natives have shown through the games that we've casted that they can play lots of different styles, right? They can play the
Mhm.
early aggressive, they can play the late game. They also have shown a huge champion pool ocean right now because they play things like Draven mid, they play Trundle support. They can play a lot of different stuff, but they can also play meta picks as well, like this Aatrox that we keep seeing brought out. So to really limit them is quite a difficult task in itself. And I feel like realistically, if you're going to beat them, it's all to do with how you play on the Rift rather than draft. But teams are also hindering themselves by not banning this Aatrox.
Yeah.
Just do it. It's too important. Solari, now that we're about to jump into champion select, I would like to highlight a few champions with you. I think Etrox should be the one. I think we learned our lesson. No Janna. She's cool and all, but come on.
Yeah. Yeah, well, apparently it's the Seraphine supremacy that you should be believing in instead of Janna. Seraphine plus something that synergizes with her is apparently a very good answer for natives for the bot lane. And Seraphine Rakan just works way too well. So either of the two needs to go if you want to win against them. So Aatrox, one of those two things from the bot lane. And I don't know how you even approach the mid lane.
Okay, mid lane, J Real.
It's the best part. For me, it's the best part about this is that we're talking about the top, we're talking about the bot, we're looking into the jungle, we're like, okay, maybe if we look this way, maybe there's gonna be something we see. But actually, we've also got the mid lane who hasn't even played some of their main champions that we got to see them play in the playoffs. So there's so much happening that realistically for me, Vanir, come with a game plan, stick to the game plan, and that is going to be the way to success. I feel like if I was going to play against natives, I feel like it's all about taking an early game team and taking the game away from them because realistically, they're so good at team fightings, they're so coordinated that if you let the game slowly trudge on, they're going to find openings.
So the bans are coming in, and Maokai yet again being removed. This is an interesting one to take away because of his flexibility, Graga's respect from Lensdorf, but the Aatrox is still alive. And we have two people that can pilot him from what we've seen in natives. So you need to respect that one. Snil is not going to be allowed to play the Cartas. And to wrap it up, what could we highlight? Do we go for the AD carry champion pool and try to take Riziki from his comfortable position? Well, she's gone. Salari, you're done.
Yeah, and he's come from the side of natives. They're not gonna take her. Okay, it's neither Seraphine nor Aatrox. Those are some really good bans for Vanir. But the
Well done.
first pick is still with natives.
Well
I
done.
like the well
Shout out to
done.
Vanir.
Oh, This would be an interesting take as the first one is getting that priority on the B1. It's not a champion that we see that much. And well, Talia, she
Nice.
can be flex as well, right, Jimmy?
Hmm.
No, indeed. Could be played by Snowlake, could be played by Riley. I believe that we saw it played by Riley when we last watched Nativz. So they
Yep.
are a team that can pilot this. They are a team that has come to with it, and it is just such a strong champion because it gives you so much flexibility around people that want to dash into your comp.
Yeah, so you're pretty much limiting Vanir right now. It's like when you pick the Silas, the idea is the same. You are not allowing the enemy team to pick certain champions, but Vanir are going the other way around and they're picking a very strong beginning of the draft. We were talking about this combination, right, Asha, about Misfortune and Amumu. Because
Yeah.
what Misfortune desperately needs from her team, she needs the setup, and Amumu is the perfect pairing for her. He jumps into the enemies, props his ultimate, and all done for Misfortune. Go on, do your ultimate, do your thing.
Oh,
Hot
oh,
take.
the speed.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about it.
Okay.
You seem interested, so I'll let you
Yeah,
talk
so
about this.
I like the Brom pickup a lot, right? Because like
Yeah.
Misfortune, known for the bullet time. Brom can actually block all of the bullet time. I was a bit surprised about the Renekton, although I will say
Really?
it was banned against Lundorf every
Yeah.
single game when they played
Exactly.
against Eminem.
It goes together with Gragas always. What usual bans you see against natives, it's Gragas and Renekton. You want to limit Lunda from playing these two champions. And now that Gragas is banned, Aatrox is banned, but Renekton is available, what does he lean into? He goes to Renekton, who has been nerfed a little bit to make his early game a little bit less bullying than before. But it's still Renekton. It's still the thing that can completely demolish you in the early game.
I find it interesting because if you play the Nard and you know the Nard is going to scale his attack range according to levels, but so the first few levels, his range is not that big, allowing Renekton to at level 3 try to make a fast one, pull a fast one on you. I don't know if he's going to bring the Presti attack and go all crazy on the top line, but it could be a possibility. Now, removing that mid pull is quite important, taking away the weapons from Relay, but also from a Polania that is also a massive mid lane that she brought in the Vex in the first game we've seen, I think. And she
Mhm.
did do a lot of work with that. Let's see what she can play as well, aside from that Vex. Caitlyn is going to be removed since they don't have an AD carry on the side of Nativz. So last man is coming in from Nativz. It's going to be the Swain. What can they prioritize now for Vanir, Real?
Well, they need to go for that team fight, right? They need to double down on what they've already got. I don't want to see what we saw in the last game from Domino, where they pick a comp that does one thing and then they kind of pivot to do something else later on. I just want to see full team fight wombo combo coming out from this one. But a lot of the really good picks have been taken away. That Swain would have been perfect.
Yeah.
So with that Vex, it is kind of difficult to lock in something else. The Viego, I guess it works. It's not necessarily what I would have loved to see.
Can I just
Yeah.
bring in the question or the topic of we see Talia, we see Unraveled Earth, we see a lot of jumps. And we see Yasuo with Ziggs. The constant push on the bot lane, safety as well. A lot of setup for the Yasuo to pull on the Wasaki. So there's a lot for this team of natives. I see your smile, Solari. So I'm putting you on the line. What is happening?
It's really Yasuo. This is what's happening. It's one of his pickpocket picks, apparently. He loves this man and he can do absolutely crazy things with it. And come on, the whole setup of natives, it screams crazy to me, but it screams it can actually work because this is that team that can make this work.
Okay,
I'm
I
not
want
with
to
the
bring up
Oriana.
something. Oriana's ball can be stopped by the wind wall. I've seen a few of those on solo queue when you think you're gonna get the perfect shockwave, but it's like a bronze shockwave. It's not the 3000 IQ, it's like the iron shockwave. It's like the duckling shockwave. So, with these setups made up, what can we say about this
I
game?
I want to say quickly, I'm not a fan of R5 Oriana. I
Okay.
really don't like it. I think if you're gonna pick Oriana and you wanted it in your comp, which it does fit with perfectly, pick it R4. That's what I'll say personally. Maybe I'm gonna get flamed on Twitter for that one, but that's just my take. I've said it many a time. A lot of people agree with me, but that's my take on that one. I think they could have maybe gone a little bit more team fight instead of Viego. You know, Fiddlesticks was the one that came to mind, and yes, it's a bit different, but I do think it would have worked really well with this comp specifically. On the flip side, the Yasuo, he's set up really well. You know, the Ziggs can give you any sort of knockup. The Glacial Fissure from the Brom as well is going to sort you out. And also, they don't have to worry about Renekton. Renekton's going to do his thing. Bot lane can just keep pushing. They have all the chance to just play around this mid lane, and they are going to use it.
Seems like the perfect team capability for Nativz yet again. We know at least they have the trigger, and when they pull it, everybody goes at the same time. Salari is going to take it. Final question before we toss it to the casters.
So you want to know who is going to win? In my opinion,
Yes, I want
that
a
is
name.
that's going to be Nativz. I love what Vanir have drafted, but they have drafted it for themselves, not looking at the opponent. So I'm with Nativz here.
First place seems like a deal for Nativz if they secure this one today. So tossing it to the casters, and we're about to jump into the rift. It is Tom Kick, and you know I love you, Duckling. You don't need to do those faces. I still love you.
I still love you too, Ashram. Despite you flaming my shockwaves while having never seen my Oriana. Regardless, we are back here on the cast. There's just some good friendly banter. Do know me and Ashram are best buddies in the real world. We actually live together. He's also my dad. Regardless of that, it's still me and Tom Kick on the cast, and we had to bring you through the last 2 games.
Yeah, luckily we're gonna bring some banger content out now. Yoppa realizing he's bored of the game, so Seraphine on to Sigs. He loves farming, chilling, and he's not really gonna care about the game until there's team fighting in like 15-20 minutes.
When you mentioned that, I just have a thought in my head that he's, on his second monitor, open up like a series or movie he's really invested in, and just started watching that while, mindlessly just farming minions down in the bot lane, which will eventually turn into the mid lane. And regardless, though, we're having some weird pauses here today. I know I shouldn't be, talking about what went wrong and all this. Obviously, it's nothing personal. Don't worry. But for the last game, someone had to swap out their VPN or something, and this time someone has to change internet provider. I mean, who does that? Just quickly calls up. Hey man, I know you're really bad at giving internet. Come on, man. I'm playing competitive here. I'm changing. 1 minute later, I'm ready. I got a new provider. Regardless, though, to just kind of summarize, Nativz versus Vanir, the death set as well. Nativz, obvious favorites. Vanir had to FF 1 game, but then they lost to best of 5.
Looks like best of fives now are good in best of ones. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. It was looking kind of good, but onto this game, I'm kind of curious because Vanir has a different style again. Because they were more laid back the first time we saw them. And now it's again more up to them to be the proactive ones, actually get onto them. But Nativz, again, they have a lot of good tools to stop the engages. They have the Braum, they have the Sigs, keep the range overall. Should be pretty happy about it. So I'm curious to see what kind of creativity we can see from Vanir to maybe shift things up a bit.
So when you're talking about what kind of creativity, obviously the creativity has to come from them, but is there any kind of idea you have in mind that you would like to see them go for?
I don't know, the specific things I would probably like to see is Krambit on the Viego doing some maybe illegal pathing to just surprise the enemy on the different tempo windows. Because if you just do standard clearing, it's easy for Nativz to predict it, be ready for it, have ward spirit. But be a little bit more creative, skip some things here and there, almost not getting the back through, but I think you need to be on the map a lot more than what you've been before. And again, Jo on the Mumu also needs to maybe unlock from the lane quickly before Braum gets out. Because Sig's Misfortune, it's maybe just going to be the same as last game. It's just farming on bot lane. Can they really skirmish a lot? I don't think so. So we need a Mumu out on the map. We need them to look for this place together with Viego, hopefully.
Talking about the mid lane, really whipping out the Yasuo. 3 different champions and 3 non-traditional ones at that. Here in today's Aurora Cup, as Vanir will have some level 1 cheese waiting for us. Repta mindlessly taking away the red buff, now realizing that some opponents are running straight into their face. Smite available for both junglers, but the aggro on the red buff is slowly running lower and lower. We need to go back to the bot lane as it's a smite and a red buff steal from Krambit. They will look for more. Clux still has the flash, forced to use it as Jo followed up with one hit himself.
Yeah, this is the creativity Vanir needs to be able to snowball the game. It's a good start for them, delaying the Thalia on the clears, getting the buff, getting flash for flash trade. So now, can we see just keeping the map like this? Okay, Nara has safety with range on the top side, so if you're splitting the map, maybe this can be the thing for Vanir to actually get onto the game and start snowballing.
It's at the very least a good start, and I think that's where we need to leave it for now, because in the next couple minutes, things can surely change. I still am Krambit. Will he be doing more illegal pathing, as you mentioned, already stealing away that red buff his heist might not be over, as he would look to steal away a win from Nativz's pocket, who have looked oh so dominant in their first 2 games. Now though, Eisenstein, look what he's doing up here on the top side. He's stealing away the red buff that he himself lost, so getting revenge on the neutral objectives in that sense, or the buffs at the very least. Getting himself a red buff, probably then taking some Crocs away, maybe as well, or running towards his own blue buff.
And what is really important now is to see if Dark Zelda is excelling on these weak sides or not. Because you're up against Talia next, and he has stacked the wave. And I was just about to say it, so now it's coming up on top side.
Yeah, do they have the damage? He's about to gnaw out and slice and dies into a seismic shot, but a good minion block, and that means Lundov is now the one in trouble, still has the flash. Does he go back in? But look at who's coming. It's Krampet, who is flash, who is red buff and blue buff as well. Everything you could need for a kill, and he will flash. Spectral Maul, Blade of the Rune King. Connects, but the damage not quite there. Now it's Krampet, the one in trouble. No flash and no help. That's the first blood for Renekton.
Oh, it's so sad for Vanir. Dark Zelda is cancelling 2 auto attacks onto the Renekton, loses vision, and then again Krambit is walking too far up without pry on the mid. Cyril is coming up, and he's just walking down on the mid and not afraid of the Amumu even. It's just a disaster start for Vanir.
As you say, disaster. Let's see if they can flip this around. It looked good. Honestly, it looked really good. I want to notice the fact that Snille, when he seismic shoved Dark Zelda back, there were just 1 minion with like half HP able to block 2-3 of the rocks, which would have been enough to get the kill. So very nicely done there by the minions. MVP really saving Dark Zelda, who then himself almost turned it around on Lundov. Krampet coming through, so close yet so far, and you mentioned it being disaster, not just for Krampet, but Lundov now with red buff and blue buff, and a kill on Renekton. I mean, that just sounds like pure hell for Zelda here in the top lane.
Yeah, we like to talk about the sad crocodile moments, but this is a really happy crocodile with the double buffs. He's gonna be chilling in the top lane. Sustaining well, having the XP advantage, farm advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2-3 minutes that Snille is gonna pop back onto top side and maybe look for a dive around 6 level spike on Lundorf.
Ooh, I'm really just holding my breath here. Zelda in desperate need of a hero, but I'm not sure Link will show up. Yes, sir. Has to find his way out of this one, as Drake has been started down in the bot side as soon as it has spawned. I'm gonna make a prediction. This is likely the fastest first Drake we have seen all Aurora Cup long. Obviously, this is the first day, but still very quickly being taken within 20 seconds of spawning, really. And that's something back for Vanir. It gives them a bit of extra attack speed ability, and it's, swinging a bit of momentum back in that thing.
Yeah, it's really important for them to keep on this stacking, but look at top lane. Is Lundorf actually looking for it?
Has to be careful though, doesn't want to overextend underneath the turret. Flash available for him if he wanted to go for it. But we'll hold off. Zelda for now surviving. And zooming out, let's see who's joining him. Snille is on his way towards top side. Krampet is running up there as well, but taking his wall, so it will be a long, slow journey. For Lundorf, he has now his level 6, no red buff and no blue buff, but that dominance, extra HP that should allow him to get the dive. They just stop his jump. And it's
doesn't
clean.
even need ult. It's just as simple as that. It's up there, good timing for both top junglers onto it, and it's just a clean dive overall. But now onto the other side though, as we spoke, but Vanir at least got the Drake, and it's important for them to keep stacking these Drakes if they want a clear win condition, because this Gnar, this sad little Gnar is not happy at this point, but this is a really happy crocodile.
Yeah, he's really feeling himself 20 CS up or something in that area. Boots already bought, so he takes less damage, and with recall coming through, he will get a pickaxe as well. That's a lot of damage early on as jail. Has to be careful, one stack away from proccing the concussive blows. In the end though, able to get out, no summoners used, ignite from clocks. Means overall, a win for Vanir's. We're looking at Snille mainly, same goes for Krampet. Unless Nativz go for a dive here, the next area of action will likely be in the Herald, spawning in just a minute's time.
You see the bot lane combo here of Bronze 6, the slows helping each other land all the abilities to be able to just keep comboing things onto each other over and over again. It's really clean played on both sides. But now again, we just see Talia on top lane. Popping that ult, want to crash the wave insta, but is Dark Zelda gonna run? Yeah, he's trying to get away.
Seismic shot connects to Snille. Probably won't be able to get the kill. Oh, that's actually a very good flank. Gives him more time to dish out the damage to Leah. Not the strongest in the early stages, but still, to be able to get this one, you have to feel that the last stone connects, and look at the wave he's losing. Oh my. Zelda might need to go sleep for another 100 years because this is a disaster unfolding in front of his eyes.
Yeah, Vanir really needs to ramp up the game if they want to be able to keep up with Nativz. We see pings on the bot lane. This is maybe the one comeback on the cross map if Yoppa doesn't respect it too much.
Yeah, respected enough to flash early on. Another bandage shot could come out in a couple seconds. This time hard to juke, no flash. Straight on top of him, that's a kill, and it's a good respawn from Vanir.
It's clean by Jay, flashing early, just making Yoppa think that it's gonna instantly bandage shots. But then he just stands onto Yoppa, which makes him stand into the wall, which means he can't really miss the second Q, and it's just clean after that again. But then again, on the other side, Snille with another cross map onto the cross map before the cross map with the Herald play.
It's a good day at the moment to be a Nativz fan, but that was just that one thorn on the side, you could say. The Shepherd got taken down. Now though, looking at the area of action, Herald finally picked up now for Snille. He had been working on it for a while. Clocks needs to be careful down here. Yoppa is there as well, but it's still a 2v3. Geo takes a bit of damage. He could go down actually. No Mega Inferno Bomb, sadly, for the side of Nativz, so can't really follow up with anything else. Geo though has to be careful. A re-engage here would mean certain death for him, but it might just be worth it if they get 2 kills.
You really saw the support brain was like, I really want to hit that cannon minion for the stack, but then I'm like, is it worth losing my life for this cannon minion? Decide, okay, I'll back off for now, I'll respect it, I don't need this cannon minion. So well played by that side, but then again, I'm just looking at the Gnar, and I'm thinking, how sad would I be if I'm not in this position? Now he's just roaming to maybe look at mid.
Yeah, very good shockwave there to get good damage in Rulle though. Still pretty tanky. 30% HP now though. Dominus is popped from Lundorf, who's looking for more. Weaver's Wall as well comes in to try and find something in return, and they do flash forward. The damage there, good heal from Lundorf, and a seismic shove on 2. It's clean, the flash is a 4th, but it's not enough to save your life as Jo falls. Apolliona, she has to run to get out to safety. Jo, the only victim in the fight.
It's just Nativz being so strong at this point. Vanir trying to be a little bit creative with the roam, but then Apollonia!
There comes the bomb, man. Beautifully played. Snille is just so good on Talia. As Darksilver looked for something, but it was a death that he found for himself. A turret will fall with the honeycomb picking it up. And this is disaster.
Vanir is just overstepping on all fronts, trying to force fight after fight, but they're not really in the best position to take it. It was creative though. I like that Darksilver tries to move on the map. He's really far behind. It's super hard to actually play the top matchup. So what can you actually do? Yeah, you have to try to roam, you have to try to look for his picks. But Nativz though, they're just playing this fight so clean. It's really hard for Vanir to play, but they do start the second rate. So what I'm thinking about is the contention of the soul that can help them out.
Yeah, exactly. This is something you highlighted just when the first Drake was killed. It's the silver line, the Drake stacking. That's the hope. But I mean, you need more than just a glimmer of hope or a silver lining, if you want to put it that way. When you're this far behind 11 minutes in, having already lost your first mid turret, being down 6-1 in kills against a 3-0-3 Talia, with 8 stacks, not on a Medjais, not on a Dark Seal. It's so hard to see. It has to be the dream wombo combo, right? Where you get the 5-man Curse of the Sad Mummy into the Gnar, into the bullet time as well. As Jo goes in, but likely to be chased out here as she has to run through. I don't even know what is that with the skin? I don't know. Regardless, had to run through some bumps, able to get out.
You know, he has the Hextech skin, so you know, want to summon the Hextech soul, but sadly he summoned it a little bit too early, so it ended up being the first Drake. So I think he misinformation about the skin, you know, not really getting the buff he wanted. So from this point on, it's just Vanir trying to stall the game, wait for dragons, but then again, still on the bot lane.
Yeah. And Apolliona, what can you do? You have flash. I mean, that was some fancy feet, but it likely won't be enough. Seismic Shove still available, but the boulders will just be enough as well. Will collect the gold, the turret falling again. The plates don't care. Or what can the plates do against the honeycomb? They lose. That's 2 turrets gone. That's all 3 turrets gone. Before the 14th minute mark. I cannot remember a time in my playing, casting, or LoL esports fan career that all 3 outer turrets are gone before 14 minutes. It just shows how big of a disaster this is as Jo. Just once death goes in, instantly dies.
I don't want to be that guy, but then again, you want to have a little bit bet, okay, how quickly can actually Nativz end this game if they keep up this pace? Because the Ziggs is just ramming down every turret of the game.
I cannot believe it. They've gotten 5 turrets before 14 minutes.
11,000 goal lead at 12 minutes.
I do not
11,000.
believe this. Wow.
Now,
I
okay, well,
thought-
let's be positive.
Go on.
Dudley, what do Vanir need to do to come back? I've used up my copium. Do you have some
They play
copium left?
5v1. They go for Lundorf 5v1. Surely you will be able to get this kill, right? Without losing anything. No, you won't. You still lose your support, but that's a massive win for Vanir. And it's a bit relieving for Dark Zelda getting the shutdown, but apparently that shutdown was only 200 extra gold, so it will help, but it won't make up the amount of gold you're behind.
But then again, so Dark Zelda getting the shutdown, now he's worth gold again. Are we really happy about this? Because you see the Rennick is like twice the CS of Dark Zelda at the moment. I think he has a 2 or 3 level advantage on the Gnar also. So what can you even do on the side then? It's actually 3 levels ahead, double the amount of CS. Is he worth the Gnar? Is worth gold again? Is it really?
I don't know, but I'm gonna take some copium here on Vanir side and be. I mean, we have 2 Drakes at 14 minutes. Not that bad if I do say so myself. Objective bounties are available soon. I think that's a good thing. That's Jo, she's caught out, and then she's dead. And I mean, that's the problem with engaged supports, right? Obviously, she didn't engage there, but the thing is, your score rarely looks good if your team isn't winning, especially as an Amumu. But it is rare that I see a Gnar this far behind. That's very good. That's very, very good. 800 gold thanks to a good Gnar in his pocket. I mean, he's getting gold. That was worth.
And now it's 2 shutdowns in a row, so you can actually debate it's getting good again. Gnar back into the game, a good front line to have. Now the Mexican standoff.
Yeah, Lundorf has no dominance, could go down as a flash away. Will it goes in though, good damage. He's just so far ahead. It has to be not good, it has to be perfect if Vanir wants to win a fight, as Lundorf will try and get the kill onto Risiki here. Bit squishy, but can obviously still go in, just take it down. With the call the meep. That's Lundorf getting another kill. They can't force down the turret as Risiki used the bullet time just to clear the way.
I thought it was gonna be a Mexican standoff for you. So Nativz again, they just want to be fist fighting all the time.
Oh, they like their fights and they will continue taking them until they will take the Nexus. And the question just is, how many minutes will that take? Let's be honest. Miracles has to happen. This feels like watching G2 versus Team Liquid at the MSI finals, let's be completely honest. 50 minutes in, good shockwaves. I'm not even sure that will save you anymore though. Clocks is pretty low. Lundorf is down to half. Dominance still available. He just... I'm not even gonna say anything. I mean, what can Jo do there? What can you realistically do? CC into death. Like instant death. I mean, pain was relieved there, if you wanna put it like that. Just wanna be put out of her misery. As Wille. Now on the flank. Joppa should be able to take down this turret. I mean, Clocks is still staying, Tom King. With 30% HP. He just doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm wondering like who on the team is like the shot call to be like, okay guys, now we need to back off, now we need to reset, use our tempo actually, but then everybody is just like, nah, but we want to fight, come on, I want to fist fight, I want to do stuff, I want to be on them, I want to just keep on transitioning this, and it's the one guy like, but can we reset?
Can we reset? And while I know this is the time to talk about objectives, yes, Sneela is taking the Herald, and very nicely for Vanir, they will get a Mountain Soul point. Honestly, I don't think a Mountain Soul will save them. Regardless, it's a silver lining. But look at Sneela's build, something. Look at Sneela's build. He's building towards a... What is that, Nash's Tooth?
It looks like a Nash's Tooth actually, but then again, okay, this... Oh!
I don't know, I'm not even gonna say anything.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, but back on the build again, I think it was yeah, talked about the build, it looks like Nash's, so Sneely just want to be hit, basic attacking. Yeah. Do we talk about what's happening on bot lane now?
I mean, they'll get a kill most likely, so the Gnar doesn't even need to be used. Fair play, that's a big shutdown. That's something, but what happens in the meantime? That's the question. A Gulbot once said to me, it's a pendulum, right? Momentum swings, and now Nativz have the chance to go in. They still have a Herald, by the way, they can use here. They haven't popped the Herald yet, and they're on the inhibitor.
I think the comms from Nativz here is like, okay guys, I want the dancing herald at the end of the game. I want the dancing herald.
I think that's the call as well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, Jail! That's onto 2. That's a foot now. That's a win wall of Dr. Roll. Fantastic win wall from Wuda. I genuinely thought they had a chance of getting a couple kills for free. But I completely forgot about the win wall being able to block all of that stuff. As Joppa will look for 2. Apollyon will get a shockwave. And it's the last one she'll get this game because she's down. And so is the rest of Vanir before 20 minutes, before 90 minutes. They won't get to see a Baron, but they'll have a dance party. Play Just Dance, whip it out, play the music. Because Shelly is about to give her dance of a lifetime. 3k left. Should go down actually.
No!
Maybe. No, the TP. Are you kidding me? I can't take this seriously, man. This is too much.
I was really hoping for the dance-off, but then now it's the Mexican standoff again. Oh,
Or Lundorf looking for it. Will get the kill. Still walking out. Krampus gets 1. They're actually gonna lose something here because when you're Viego and kill your opponents, you get their gold. You get their strength. Jumps out now. I'm gonna be honest. Willie can easily outplay this. Let's be completely honest. 2 items in, dancing around, juking the boulders. It's miraculous. Yes, you can CC him for a while, but you can't kill him alone. As he just walks towards the turrets. He walks towards Jail. I don't know.
we're backing out, dude. Why are you going in? We're backing out. Nah,
Have
dude,
you ever
I'll
wanted
take
to
the base.
practice your play-by-play? Now is your chance. Give it a
Okay,
shot.
I'll give it a shot. Okay, Rilov with the knockup.
Nah,
Look,
no,
I'm
no.
better just instigating. But then
You know
again,
what? You get the next fight. You get the
yeah,
next
I'll
fight.
take the next fight.
I'll
Can you do
I'll
some
do the
analyzing then?
telecom.
We
Yeah, I
switch
can do
it
some
up for the back
analyzing.
now? Okay.
So the problem is, this is looking like my solo queue games because I don't know how to come back from this. Let's be completely honest. Well, there is one situation. Wule unbinds his W, Clocks unbinds his E, and then they all get hit by a 5-man shockwave. Or 2-man like this.
Then it's so big of an engage to try to get multiple members in the back there. Nari's trying to get out, but it's just too much damage. Misfortune is trying to dish out something in the back there, but the natives, they're just too strong. They want to take this fight, and they want to take the base.
And they end before 20 minutes as our roles will now swap back. They can't get the Dancing Herald, but they can surely get a win before the 20-minute mark. They've had some fun, they've played with their food, but now they will be stuffed full after dinner as they will collect a 3-0 day here in the NLC Aurora Cup. Please don't back off, guys. Just end the game.
Come on, do it before 20 minutes. It's 8 seconds. Can you do it before 20 minutes? It's so close. 4, 3.
Ah, they won't do it. Oh, will they?
Oh.
20 minutes exactly. I don't know.
Well, that was a game. That was a game. What did you think of my play-by-play? Well, like, as a
I
play-by-play
mean,
caster, do you want to have some quick feedback? I don't know what to talk about the game here.
yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, let's be honest. There wasn't much to talk about the gameplay. The one silver lining of a mountain soul would never have been enough at that point. It was simply too far behind. And yeah, play, it was all right. I mean, the levels could definitely have been balanced a little better. But for a first timer, it was honestly very good. It was very
Thank
good
you.
for a first timer.
it means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that my words carry some meaning at the very least. Honestly, guys, we will throw it to a break. When we'll be back, Domino Esports will be taking on Buster 5. Thank you guys for watching this slaughter.